Hi, I'm Keith Krieger, Program Director for Computer Applications Training at JCCC. And today we have some tools, tips, and techniques to help you do your work with common computer applications every day. In this section, we'll take a look at PowerPoint. And if you have to produce many PowerPoint presentations, you've probably found yourself reusing slides, opening and closing slides, title slides, information that you want to have consistently shown to the audience from presentation to presentation. And I can do copy and paste, which is certainly legal and it works well, but if I have to do a lot of these, that gets fairly tedious to do that copy and paste routine. And what I'd really like to have is a real simple way to tell PowerPoint to go out and show me an entire list of existing slides in a presentation, and then by single clicking simply add those where I wish. So I have a presentation here in PowerPoint opened up, and the goal here is to pull some slides, some generic slides that allow me to establish look and feel or branding and be very consistent about that from an existing presentation. And what you might think about here is developing a library of PowerPoint slides. That is a single PowerPoint file that has all of those presentation elements already built for you. Standard opening slide, a standard title slide, a standard summary slide, a standard closing, a slide with contact information, so that I don't have to rebuild that. And the terminology that Microsoft used in PowerPoint for this, it can be a little bit odd, because what I want to do here, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want to add a new slide from another presentation. If I hover over the new slide button, it's split into two pieces, an upper and lower part. If I click the upper part, PowerPoint simply builds a new blank slide using the current theme wherever my current focus is. In this case, my focus is shown in the presentation with this border around the thumbnail. So clicking that upper half would just give me a brand new blank slide at that location. What I really want to do is tell PowerPoint I want to reuse slides. And what that really should say is I want to use slides from another presentation. When I click Reuse Slides at the bottom of the new slide menu, and if I look at the right-hand side, we get a pane added to the right-hand side. Notice that pane is titled Reuse Slides. It says Insert a Slide From. If I have an existing presentation open, I can drop down the list to pull it open, or I can browse. I can either browse a slide library or browse a file. A slide library for SharePoint users is a special library that would contain individual slides that I could access. We, however, are simply going to browse file, and we will find the presentation that we want and open it. Looking over to the right, it now tells us this is 41 slides. If I hover over these, it shows me a thumbnail of each one of those. And the nice thing about it is I can single click any one of those thumbnails and it gets added to the presentation after the currently selected slide. In this example, I had slide number 1 selected, and when I clicked that slide in the Reuse Slides pane, it automatically inserted it after slide number 1, picked up the default theme, background colors and fonts, and other kinds of formatting information from the open presentation and applied that to the inserted slide. If I right-click one of these items, one of these thumbnails in Reuse Slides, I can insert the existing slide, I can insert all of them, I can apply a theme to them. So it very quickly lets me pick and choose and add slides to an existing presentation without a whole lot of cut and paste, back and forth, drag and drop. What you have to bring to this to make your workflow more efficient is again to have one or two PowerPoint files that are only built of pieces and parts. Specific slides that you want to reuse from presentation to presentation. Having those out in a network location if you work with a team so that everybody can get to them, so that you have one set of master slides, makes that process much more transparent and allows branding to be very consistent and gives everybody the same look and feel. If I'm finished with reuse slides, I can simply close that task pane and I'm returned back to my existing presentation that I can use as I wish. One note here is that these slides are not linked in any way, so we can feel free to change them, modify them, without having any effect on our existing slide library. Try this out. I think you'll find it very useful in your workflow and giving a nice consistent look to all of your presentations. We trust you found the tips and tools, techniques in these videos to be helpful in something you can put to use almost immediately. We know that these are things that can be shared easily, and we encourage you to share them with your colleagues and your friends. Post them to Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn for other people to take advantage of. And if you like, we'd be happy to send you the notes of the tools and techniques that we've shown you here today. Please feel free to send us a message at the address on the screen, and we'll get those right out to you. Thanks.